Now, we don't really cover PSUs here because, well, they're kind of boring, but finally one has shown up on my door that's actually worth talking about. This right here, the Lian Li RS. A power supply with a feature so special that they've literally even put a small window in the box to show it off. And when you do start unboxing it, at first things seem pretty normal. You have all of your regular accessories like screws and even some cable combs and magnetic clips for routing them. But then you also get stuff like internal USB cables in the PCIe bracket, and what on earth is this whole thing that comes in its own separate baggie? Well, here's the main thing about this PSU. It allows you to shift which way you actually plug it in from the wall. And while this seems like a pretty simple feature, it opens up quite a lot of possibilities. For example, you see that there are actually two places where you can plug in your motherboard power. That's because the whole point of it is to allow you to adjust exactly what angle all of the cables will be running from the power supply to the rest of the system. You can have all of the cables facing a different way coming out of the PSU, and this is of course especially more useful in cases that have limited space where it can be very difficult to correctly manage them. It also comes with these special panels that you use to cover the section of the PSU not facing the outside to close off yet another potential attack avenue for dust. That's just one of the things that makes this thing unique. The other is this thing that sticks out of it. What exactly is that? Well, it is an internal USB hub to help manage all of the accessories that now typically use USB ports on your motherboard. You essentially just attach it to the front of the PSU and then just run a USB cable from it to your motherboard. You can either run it internally or, get this, it even comes with an internal to external USB cable that you're supposed to first plug into it and then run on the outside of your case and plug it into the back of your motherboard, which is where that weird PCE bracket comes in because it has a space where you can run the cable through it. It's pretty silly, and I have no idea how many people will choose that option rather than just connecting it internally, especially given how odds are that bracket is not going to fit the rest in your system and look kind of odd, especially if you happen to have a case that has a more, let's say, unique color going for it. But whatever, if for some reason you cannot connect it up internally, that is also an option. What's also an option is connecting it somewhere completely other than to the PSU itself, given how it's just magnetic, so you can attach it anywhere, and it comes with a SATA power port on the back to actually power it, which means that you can even use that thing in tandem with a different power supply. It doesn't have to be this unit from Lian Li, it can just be any PSU, and you just use the hub because, well, you want to. For the cables themselves, I find it both kind of hilarious and kind of annoying that while they came in this pretty cool looking baggie, they also came inside an additional plastic bag inside, which, like, why? What's the point? And they are nothing too special, unfortunately. They're not braided or anything, apart from just the main motherboard one, and even then it's a pretty different material than most of the braided cables you'd usually see. And now for the price. Right now it's going to cost you around $145 for a black 1000 watt unit without the hub, all the way up to $170 for a 1200 watt unit with the hub. So yes, the hub is optional, and yes, there are only two options when it comes to the wattage. And yeah, I get that people who need less than 1000 watts are probably looking for something more budget anyway, but it also would be kind of nice to have a 1600 watt unit for the one or two people who could actually kind of justify that wattage. And also across the board, the white versions are going to cost you $5 more, so that's just something to keep in mind. So it's definitely not as bad as some of the more premium PSUs go, but it's still definitely a lot. Plus, it's still only just 80 plus gold rated. It's not even platinum or anything, which I know doesn't matter to a lot of people, but still. For me, I'm just happy that there is some actual innovation in the PSU space, something, anything for me to talk about. If it's actually something that's worth your money, well, that's up to you to decide. But if you want to get it yourself, then our links to it will be down in the video description below alongside a Patreon, because while this thing may or may not be worth it to you, our Patreon is always worth it. Plus huge thanks to Gavin Burns, Justin Rage, Jelaroniak, Balish Voka, Not a Pseudonym, Meg Sumner, Shane Allcroft, and Mason Magruder. But anyway, that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye everyone. Goodbye.